If you're running a tutoring business, you need to niche down as much as humanly possible for a consistent stream of students and a consistent stream of income. So I'm talking an extra 10K per month with your tutoring income. Now, you might be thinking, why do we actually niche down? Why do you have to niche down and get rid of most of my target audience and be left with a smaller piece of the pie? Because this is exactly what I did, and I'm going to explain in this video why niching down actually gets you more audience members. Now, you might be thinking, why do I have the authority to talk about this? Well, here are the stats from my business. I had 12,000 followers on Instagram, 35,000 followers on TikTok, 500 subs on YouTube. I had thousands of students in my online community specific to my niche. I had 250 paying clients, and I came in contact with thousands of potential clients. And most importantly, these stats are all well and good. These stats are just a bunch of statistics about my business. But most importantly, all of these were while I was targeting a very, very specific niche known as an avatar. An avatar is essentially just a fancy way of saying a specific audience member or an ideal client that you want to be aiming for when you're running your business. And all of your content needs to be centered around this avatar. And I'm going to explain exactly how to do that in this video. Just a little bit more about me. This is me teaching at Monash University. I was teaching at Monash Uni for 3 years while studying my degree of engineering. And I was also running my business at the same time. And this is me winning the teaching award in 2022. So if you want to find a way to increase your student count, increase your income from your tutoring, and guarantee a consistent stream of students indefinitely, then this will be the most peaceful use of content that you will ever come across. But this video is only for you if you're determined to help yourself shortcut the learning of the secrets to succeed as a tutor in Australia. And I promise that if you implement everything that I say in this video, your ability to attract more leads, sign more students, and retain your students will increase exponentially. I started my tutoring business from scratch during uni, and I was able to help thousands of students through my online content and my maths tutoring service. And I'm going to be breaking down everything which I did so you can literally just copy and paste exactly what I did and get the same result. So just a little bit about who am I. I've kind of spoken about my experience already, but my name's Adrian. I did a degree majoring in robotics. I'm currently an electrical engineer at a company called Jacobs, and I was also the founder of my tutoring business for 2021 to 2025. I tutored privately for 6 years before, during, and after this, and I was also teaching at Monash University for 3 years, as the photo said before, and I also won the Monash Engineering Teaching Award. So this is a little bit about my tutoring story. I started tutoring privately as soon as I finished VCE Methods. That's essentially just the year 12 version of the middle level of maths in Victoria. And straight away, I wanted to start a tutoring business, but didn't know how. So to attract more students, I tried the following things in terms of marketing. I tried posting on Facebook Marketplace, hosting in-person seminars, virtual seminars, posting in tutoring groups on Facebook, encouraging word of mouth, attracting students from my old high school. But I tried all of these things, and you might have tried these things as well, but none of these actually seemed to work because I failed to understand how business and marketing fundamentally work. Now, as a tutor, you might be thinking this, but you can't actually just get away with posting a good score and just posting a bunch of testimonials to attract students. I actually gained all of my students doing the methods described in this video that I'm about to run through, and it actually served me for the better rather than just doing what everyone else around me was doing. Now, before we continue this video, what I want you to do is think about what your current target audience is. I want you to think about it. I want you to write it down. But pause this video. Feel free to actually take some time if you want to. But what you realize is that your current target audience is quite generic. So this idea of this video is niching down into a specific clientele, but you'll notice that you're currently quite generic. But that's going to change after watching this video, after I convince you that focusing on a niche is better for your business, for your marketing, and ultimately for your income of your tutoring business. Now, in this video, what I'm going to do is teach you exactly why you need to make your target audience as specific as possible in order to do the following things. You need to be converting interested students to paying students in the easiest way possible. So this can be done if you niche down into a specific target audience. If you want to be building up legitimate trust and relatability with your students, then you need to be niching down your audience. And if you want to keep your students coming back, even if they reject you the first time, then you need to be building up your specific target audience. And I'm going to be teaching you exactly what to do in this video to gain the below statistics. I talked about the generic statistics from my business in terms of my social media numbers, but in terms of some conversion rates and some actual numbers from some campaigns, I gathered 404 student leads. So we're just talking just names, just numbers, and just emails during one campaign, which I ran over 1 month. So this was 1% of the cohort that we're talking about that did the specific subject. And from there, it trickled down to 50 students paying to join my service. In a completely separate campaign, I had 21 expression of interest calls from one short campaign in the space of 1 week. And I was able to convert most of these students who were genuinely interested. Generally, over the course of my business, I had a 45 to 50% sales conversion rate from my standard consistent strategy, but this was originally 10 to 15% before implementing all of my framework and all of my blueprint. And I was able to gather leads and convert it all without spending a chunk of time with time wasters and people who were just kind of wasting your time. Well, that's what time wasters are, but essentially that's what I tried to avoid as much when I was running my tutoring business and trying to gather leads. That was a big problem that I was facing in the start, and you might be facing that as well. I'm going to teach you exactly how to sift that out with my full blueprint and my full framework. So here's just a screenshot of the expression of interest calls booked within that 1 week period. And ultimately, all these above things help me build a clientele that may be 10K per month of profit during university. Building a specific niche was a critical piece of this puzzle though, and it works hand in hand with the other methods that I'll break down in other videos, and I break down the full framework in a separate video that's linked in the description below. Now, personally, I had to self-learn marketing, I had to self-learn ads, social media, sales, content development, product building, lead management, and so many other business terms in order to build my business, Mind Learning. This was a 4-year process as I didn't get it right the first time, the second time, nor the third time around. But this series of videos is going to prevent you from going through exactly the same struggle that I did over those 4 years. Now, just keep in mind, this video is only for you if you actually care about excelling in your tutoring income in the fastest way possible, and you want to see improvement in your business, in your income, and in your life. If this doesn't apply to you, feel free to just hop off this video. But if you genuinely want to excel with your tutoring income and make your business grow as fast as possible, then this video is going to be ideal for you. Now, here's the secret about tutoring and running a tutoring business that no one is going to tell you. Now, everyone thinks that running a tutoring business and tutoring success is all about targeting as many students as possible. But you need to think about if this is actually the case or if this is just some sort of misconception. Now, what I want you to do as a little bit of an activity is think about which social media influencer you resonate with the most, and then think about why that's actually the case. Now, what you'll notice is that you probably resonate with them because they have more than one thing in common with you. And if they have multiple traits in common with you, then you're more likely going to resonate with that person. So I'll give you some examples of some combinations or some personality traits that you may resonate with some social media influencers. You might be an engineering student and you go to the gym as well. So you might follow someone because of that. You might play basketball and also have the same fashion sense as someone else. So you might follow them for that. You might be studying medicine and you might be playing pickleball. Just random examples. You might resonate with someone because they do both of those things. And what you'll notice is that the more things some influencer has in common with you, the more that they will resonate with you as well. Now, the same thing applies with your audience and with advertising. You should be targeting people that can relate to your position, but they could also see that you've made it out of it. This is not necessarily the case all the time, but most of the time you're going to be helping people where you were previously in their position. You did a specific subject, you used to struggle with it, and you figured out the secrets to solve those problems. That's going to be most likely your target audience, or you're going to be helping people that you've helped in exactly the same positions before, and you have a track record, a proven track record of helping those people. Now, this is the passive way of getting students if you're just kind of stuck in the current situation that you're in. If you ask most tutors, and if you ask yourself where you're at with your student base, you'll notice that you're most likely stuck at being at about 1 to 5 students, but you're not able to expand any further than that. And that's because your ability to obtain leads is being capped by how well your audience can relate to you. And if you imagine a lot of the bigger brands these days, if you imagine, for example, Prime Energy, if you imagine Skims, if you imagine Kylie Jenner's makeup brand, all of those things are related to huge celebrities. So that's because the products are linked with those celebrities, and the celebrities have built trust, and that trust corresponds with a trust that can be converted into some sort of advertising, and trust is what ultimately gets sales. So what you need to do in order to gain this trust, and it's legitimate trust, it's not a fake trust, it's legitimate, you need to be super specific with who you target and be super genuine about it. Because if you try and please everyone, if you try and please too many people, you will end up pleasing no one. It will take you years to learn the skills that you need to master this full process though. So it took me 4+ years, but genuinely your drive and your dedication to tutoring, you want to see the results instantly. So that's what this full video series is about, and you're going to get so much value by watching the remainder of this video to see how the niche actually works in terms of your audience. And what you don't want to be doing is you don't want to be stuck here where someone's posted on this tutoring forum, they've asked for a specific tutor for a specific subject, and you see 15 people have almost instantly commented. You don't want to be stuck in these 15 people. You want to be carving out a market and carving out an audience for yourself to actually market to specifically. Again, I want you to recall what the goals are you have set for yourself with your tutoring business success. But in order to get those goals and achieve that success, what do you actually need in order to get there? You need an audience who knows you and also knows your product. You need a way of maximizing the conversion from a generic audience member or a generic lead to a genuine paying customer. And thirdly, you need a process that works indefinitely, which without much input time in the long run as well. You don't want to be messaging students one-on-one all the time. You want to be able to streamline this process to consistently get leads forever in the future. Now, here is the start or just part of the tutoring blueprint. So you're going to be implementing this 4-step framework in order to help you become a top tutoring business and a top tutor in your state. But just note that this video only covers part of just 1 step out of the 4. It's a very small portion of this process, but I've got a full general breakdown linked in the bio of this video. If you want to watch that, it's linked in the description. Now, here's the idea of the niche. The idea is to target a specific avatar. That's specific terminology, but essentially an avatar is just a super specific ideal client. Now, I'm going to break down exactly how to actually create this, but essentially what you want to do is create this avatar, create this super specific ideal client, and then literally make all of your content, all of your product, all of your marketing, all of your messaging centered around them. And again, if you think that this limits you, again, I'm just going to remind you of these statistics. 12,000 followers on Instagram, 35,000 followers on TikTok, 580 subscribers on YouTube, 1,000+ students in my private community with my specific niche, and 250 paying clients ran all by me. Now, again, this is not trying to brag. This is saying that if you target a specific niche, you will still be able to get numbers. It's not going to limit the amount of numbers that you can get, because you can see these statistics right here. These statistics were all because I targeted a very specific avatar, a super specific ideal client. I made all my content centered around them, and it actually helped my numbers for the better, as you can see with these statistics here. Now, I really want to emphasize this point. Home. Be super, super specific. I put super twice because it's really important. Be super, super specific with who you target. What was their score for their last exam? What was their feeling towards school post-summer? Why weren't they productive after school? If you make videos or you make content or you put marketing messaging around these points, then these will hit the students deep emotionally. It's not going to emotionally traumatize them, but it's going to resonate with them deeply. And even if what you're saying doesn't exactly resonate with you, they will still try and fit it into their reality to what you're saying, because there's other videos where they can relate to. So if you make 9 out of 10 videos that they can relate to, they'll still take out the positive things and the important things from that 10th video. That's the idea behind a super, super specific avatar or a super specific ideal client that you're making your marketing from. Now, here are the genuine reasons. If we just want to break down really clearly why you need to be niche with your marketing, it's because you have either experienced their problems before, you've found a way out, and now you help them with that same problem. You have a specific problem, or you had a specific problem, you figured out a way to solve that problem, and now you're helping people who are in that exact position. It's very similar when you think about personal training. Personal training usually resonates the most with people if they are being trained by someone who was in that same position. Let's say if you want to lose weight and you want to gain muscle, if you see someone who had a very similar build to you before, that's going to give you hope that that person can help you. It's not necessary that you've actually been in their position though, because the second type of person, or the second reason, or the second type of ideal client that you can actually be helping is helping other people with their problems, even if you haven't experienced it. But this is hard to kind of gain trust with. So what you would most likely have to have is a track record of helping fix those problems for other people. For example, I'm gracious to say that I was never really failing school, but I could still help people who were failing school if I've helped a lot of people with that in the past as well. Now, either way, either one of these two things that you're targeting with your specific avatar, your specific niche, your message will still resonate with that audience if you make all the messaging about them specifically. So the question is, why does this actually work? I'm going to break it down in 3 different ways. The first way is that specificity is like a filter. When you target certain traits, so you target traits of the ideal client that you're looking for, it amplifies the interest of people with those traits. So if you're really specific about traits, you're really specific about scores that they achieved, you're really specific about disappointments that they experience at certain times of the year, it amplifies the interest greatly because that person is resonating with that message very, very specifically. But this is just as important though. A lot of people don't realize this, but it actually reduces the interest of people who are outside of that, which is your goal. Because if you have a specific target audience and a specific target client, then you actually want to be rejecting people outside of that because you either don't want to help them, you can't help them, or you just prefer to help the people who are in your specific ideal client circle. So either way, it's going to reduce the interest of people who are outside of that, and it's going to prevent time wasters from coming into your ecosystem. So the potential clients who fit your avatar will resonate heavily with what you say and how you say it because you are hitting the nail on the head for them every single time. Because again, you're targeting an ideal niche. Once they resonate with the ideas within that niche, then they're just going to resonate with you. And resonating with you is the most important thing if you want to actually be converting from potential customers and potential clients and just general viewers to actual paying clients. And that brings on to the second point. We want to be increasing conversion by targeting a specific niche. Because your content heavily relates to this certain demographic, they're more likely to consume your content more and more. And the more that they consume your content, the more that they will be pre-sold. Essentially, they're already sold with the idea of being your client. And the more that they are pre-sold, the more that they will consume your content, and this cycle continues. And essentially, they will just sell themselves to you because the avatar you target specifically suits their situation to a T, or it suits their situation more so compared to other people in the marketplace. Now, idea 3, you have the ability to branch out later if you target a specific niche, even if you think that you can't, and even if you feel like you're limiting yourself. This will be a very, very long-term problem, by the way. If you want to maximize your niche, that's going to take years. It's going to take more than a couple of years. But eventually, you may want to expand further. But you can just duplicate niches. For example, this might be one avatar or one ideal client that you might have. Might be a year 9 student who puts in the effort consistently, but has failed maths exams. And then once you're either bored or you want to expand from this, then you can make an equivalent one with different specifications. You can target year 11 students who are stuck at average, but they want to be the top of their class. And the possibilities are endless from there. Now, how you actually implement this system. Right now, you have a lot of ambition with your subject skill set, and you have high hopes for yourself with your tutoring business. But what's limiting you right now is your current tutoring skill set and your current business skill set, and also your mindset. Now, overall, if you want to just be running a successful business, you need to be mastering your marketing and your messaging, but you have no idea what your message is and how to actually spread this message. You want to master the leads and sales process, but you have no idea how this actually works in the tutoring landscape. You didn't know that onboarding was so crucial that I talked about in other videos, and you don't know how to actually get students keen from the start with you and your product. And lastly, you have no idea if your product's actually good enough, and if it targets this specific avatar and the specific desires of the avatar as well. Now, this is my offer to you if you've made it this far in the video. I'm actually opening up my doors to take on a few more serious tutors who are serious about accelerating and growing ahead of the competition and ultimately building up their tutoring business in the fastest way possible. And not just being stuck on 1 to 5 students. We want to be scaling ahead of that and also be making good money from these students as well. And from your business too. My mission is to work with the following tutors. I want to be working with tutors who have already had or have numerous students and scored relatively high in their respective field. I want to be working with tutors or tutoring businesses who understand the value of streamlining the marketing, the sales process, the onboarding, and also the product to reduce the time that they spend per student to leave more time left to actually expanding the business. I want to be working with tutors who believe that learning the business passively as you go is not going to get them to their desired income per month, and they want to shortcut that increase in income to just simply a matter of months. I want to be working with tutors who are still in uni or in their early career and they have high ambitions. And they want to be building a business and have the option to replace their main income in the future if they actually want to. And I also want to work with tutors, this is the most important one, who want to put in the time and effort. And they want to work hard to specifically achieve their goals. And this is, again, as I said, the most critical one. So I'm not going to run through this, but if you want to pause this video and see what the ideal process is for your business, this is exactly what you should be implementing. And this is exactly what I help you implement as one of my tutoring business clients as well. So if you understand the value of developing skills to accelerate your success as a tutor, and you're not actually satisfied with your current trajectory, but you're a highly ambitious person as well, I'll personally show you how to implement the following things. So I'm going to teach you everything that I know that I've learned over the past 4 years to run a tutoring business from end to end and be super efficient with it. From the marketing and the messaging side, to the sales side, to the onboarding side, to the product. And I'm going to allow you to learn at a high rate of success with the following things. And it's not limited to this, but what you'll get is accountability calls with me to ensure that you implement all of my strategy, advice, and frameworks as simply and as quickly as possible. And I'll be able to review all of your work personally, one-on-one, without outsourcing it to anyone else. I have walkthroughs about how I set up my marketing process, how I set up my sales process, my onboarding process, and my product for my tutoring business. And there's templates that you can copy and paste for your exact business. And we can suit it to your specific needs as well. There's resources and frameworks that you can read here, and I can review them all personally as well. I'm not going to run through them. And there's also daily messaging with me. You can message me any day, and I'll just reply to you to keep you accountable and maintain your schedule to fulfill the full process within 2 to 3 months. And beyond that, we'll still be able to call and message beyond that if that's required for your specific circumstance. There's plenty of videos covering a lot of the theory for marketing, for leads, for sales, for product. And there's also videos teaching you how to present, and we can run through that as a partnership as well to teach you how to present confidently, and how to record in the easiest way possible. So suppose you're watching this and you genuinely have the desires to succeed. You want to develop that hunger to develop your tutoring business into one that can provide you with an income sufficiently for years to come. And you want to move on to the next stage of business scale with genuine confidence. I have a link below in the description where you can book a call and we could talk about a roadmap for your tutoring career and figure out which step of the business process is holding you back. And we can unclog that whole learning process for developing your specific business. But all you have to do at this point in time is you have to decide if you want to succeed in the best way possible for your tutoring business this year. And if the answer is yes, then book a call and we'll discuss how I can help you with succeeding with your students, your business, and your income this year.